G'day and welcome to a bit of a tutorial on how to make a life-size model of a human being out of cardboard. A lot of different steps in this, but I'm going to start off with Make Human, which is free open source. Basically, lets you create different game characters and stuff. What we're going to do though is we're going to grab a male who is, I don't know, general sort of thing. We're not going to mess around with this too much, but you can have a look at this for yourself later on. You get to change all sorts of bits and pieces. What we care about the most at the moment is getting his face and his pose pretty good. So, where is it? Pose and animate. Let's firstly give him just the default skeleton. We're going to pose him with his arms down by the sides. So we can do maybe a standing one like that. There was a better one. Yeah, we go for standing too. Then the expression on his face, I guess, is kind of important as well. Typically look for smile 2. Looks a little bit creepy, lopsided, but kind of natural. All right, and from this, what we want to do is export a STL, stereolithography file, binary STL, because without that, for some reason, it doesn't actually work properly. Now I'm going to save this into a folder that I've got somewhere here. What did I call it? Slicer. So this is going to be our human.stl. So we save that in there, and then we're pretty much done with Make Human, assuming that that has actually saved properly. Sure you want to exit? Yes, we are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to import this into OpenSCAD, create a bit of a file here. So, where are we going? Okay, a couple of variables we're going to want first, and I'll show you why we need these later for the batch file. So we're going to have a cut number, we're going to have a thickness, so most of the cardboard I'm going to be using later is 3mm thick, so we go with that. And then we need to import the file, which we called human.stl. So we'll go there. Make sure that I save this in the same location so we don't have to deal with pathing and all the rest of it. So in Sisyphus, in Slicer, this is going to be called, I don't know, human.scad, I think it saves it as. So at the moment, if we were to import this, so let's go preview, he looks like this. Okay, so he's laying down, that's not how we want him, and he's not the right size either. So first thing we're going to need to do is rotate him 90 degrees on the x-axis. For some reason my F5 key isn't working, so I have to go through the menu. Alright, so now he's standing upright. Then I'm going to, usually I'd translate him because I don't do a whole body when I'm setting this up, I just do sort of a bust. But in this case, we'll keep him as is, but the scale needs to be set. So at the moment he is, looks like 18-ish millimeters tall. So the scale should be 100. Preview that. Now he should be, this is in millimeters, that is 2000 millimeters, which is 200. Yep, so that's life size there. Next, after scaling it, we're going to need to translate him because we're going to take projections through different slices like this. So the translation here is actually going to be 0, 0, and then in the Z axis, we'll go negative cut times thickness. Now you can run into a bit of a problem here, so we'll want to make sure that he doesn't start standing on the thing, because then the first one can fail. So we'll go minus 0.1 minus cut times thickness, pretty sure should work. If we update this now, you shouldn't really be able to tell, but he did move down very slightly. We'll have a look at that in a second when we see the bottom of his feet. So final move here, now that is done, we need to get a projection where cut equals true, so it doesn't project his entire body down onto the plane. It's just going through the plane that we're cutting, in this case, whatever is at the Z axis. So compiling. So this is going to be barely just the bottom of his feet. I don't know if his toes actually touch the ground. They should do. And takes a while. The projection actually takes the longest, I think. So there we go. He's got separate toes to his feet, which could be a bit of a problem. So what we'll actually do to make the bottom easier is we'll jump in like this. Now, I'll show you the difference between the render and doing it the other way. Because I was doing this slowly earlier today, doing the 100 and whatever cuts that are needed manually, rendering one and then going out and coming back and doing a whole lot of hassle. It took more than an hour until I wrote a batch program to do it. Polygon mesh coming, should take 11 seconds. So that's still probably not far enough. We'll stick with that for now. You can mess around with this just so that the first one is a solid thing. So we need to go through the middle of the toes and get the arch of the foot there all connected together. But you get the basic idea. So this is basically what we want here. So I'm going to save that. And then what we're going to need to do in here, so I don't know where this texture folders keep coming from, but it's fine. We want to create a new text document. This is going to be our batch processor. Doesn't matter what we call it. Just going to need to quickly give us file name extensions. We want to rename this to .bat. Yes, we want to change that. And turn them back off. Now, need to edit this. And what we're trying to do here, basically, is get the command prompt to open OpenSCAD without actually opening the program and process all the things for us. So let's go, go off. Now, we want to set local. Enable delayed expansion, because the loop that we're going to be doing, I want to add a time to it that says when H1 started. And let's make this nice and skinny but long. So lines equals 51, just so we can fit 50 bits of thing in there. We're going to make a directory within here, and we're going to call it layers. And then for each A in from stepping 1 to 110, actually should have checked that first. It's usually about 110 layers tall. What we're going to do, if we can learn to type, that goes there. We're going to echo processing layer number. Since the time, this is where the enable delayed expansion is important. C program files, OpenSCAD is where it's saved, OpenSCAD.com, not .exe, and we're going to go -O because we want it to output into the layers folder. We're going to call this, I don't know, human, and then the number of the layer. It's going to output SVG files, and the capital D here is the variable that we want it to do. So cut is going to be passed in as whatever layer we're up to, and it's opening human.scad is the file. All right, and then after this, when it's finished, it's going to echo processing complete, and it's going to pause and wait for us to notice that the window's finished. So need to save that. So if we were to run this at the moment, you can see our little window over here. So processing layer 1 since 1:23:31.82 AM should take about 10 or 11 seconds per layer, hopefully. So it's going to take a bit longer for this one, maybe just the first time. There we go, 21 seconds for that layer. But this would go through, it would process the 110 layers. I know we could set it up to realize when there's an error and just continuing until then. But what I usually do is take a look in here first. Already have it open, don't we? There we go. So if we assume that there's 110 layers, we can turn the projection off to make it faster. Hit the preview. Yeah, 110 layers is nowhere near enough. That's for a bust. So we would have needed to change that. Let's say maybe 500 layers. There's going to be a hell of a lot of cardboard. Previewing that, 500 is still not enough. We need to go until it is the last one where the Z-axis cuts through the head. So maybe 520. Nope, much more. All right, a little less. 580, hard to tell from here. Can we see all the lines above it? we can. So 579th layer will be the last one of this. So really what we should do is cancel this, terminate the batch job, come back out to our slicer, edit the batch processor. It's actually still down here. No, it's not. All right, edit this again. So this was up to layer 579. If you do 580, it doesn't matter if it just throws an error into the thing. That's fine. All right, so now if we run this, so it was what? Can't see the exact. Yeah, it's about 20 seconds per thing. So 20 seconds times, what are we looking at? 579 layers. 579 times, say 21 seconds. That's a lot of seconds. That's a lot of minutes. So that's going to take 3 hours and 23 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I could come back in the morning and have all 579 layers ready and sitting in this folder. What we would then do is if you open up a program, what we're doing, like LightBurn, you can import these files. So we'll do the first 5 here, put it roughly in the center of the page. So these are the first ones. You want to split these up and move them closer together and all the rest of it, fit it onto your cardboard for your laser cutter. But you can see the individual layers here. So that's layer 1. Layer 2 would be there. We'd end up actually wanting to move it over so it cuts out separately. And then layer 3, layer 4, layer 5 for the couple of hundred sheets that you're going to do it for if you wanted the full size thing. So more likely what you would do is not the entire person. So what I've already set up before is just the bust. So from the shoulders for the stability and upwards was the 110 layers. So at some point I'll try and end up putting them together. It'll probably be a couple of months worth of work, but then I'll let you see how it looks when you finish the completed bust. So it would come out like this. Now I do have a thing here. It's actually on the desktop. So if I was to open, that never opens. All right, if I was to open this just for viewing, these are the layers for a 10:1 model. So it should be, yeah, pretty sure it's 10:1. All the layers involved there. So instead of 579, this was, I think, 60 layers because I made the person a bit taller. But that is how it would look making a 18 centimeter tall model out of 3mm layers made out of cardboard. And I did make this today and didn't put the whole person together and made the bust section, and it looked a bit small, so you'd want to probably go at least double this size or a bit bigger. But yeah, let me know what you think of that, and I'll try to show you when that project's finished. Well, thanks for watching. See you soon.